Good evening, my fellow Americans. It is indeed Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. My fellow Americans, I'd like to welcome all of you, those of you already logged in to the Robert Duverny Show. You know, if it's Tuesday, if it's 8 p.m., it is the Robert Duverny Show. Well, tonight, as always, we have a menu that is rich, and we're only 15 days away from the election. And I'm encouraging you to call a friend right now, call a colleague, let them know that the Robert Duverny Show is on. It's on because we have a lot to delve into tonight for the simple fact that the time that we've all long waited for has come. We dream of this day of the midterm election. If you're a political junkie, of course, you have to dream of these days. And because that's what all politicians work for. They work for payday, because technically it's a payday. In 2 weeks, the American people will have the opportunity to go ahead and cast the ballot. And there's quite a few who have already started. The likes of the great state of Florida, who started early voting as of yesterday, the 24th. And we're going to delve into this. There's also a lot of other states. Participant this year is astronomical. And this is a record-breaking compared to 2018. Normally, folks don't show much interest when it comes to midterm, but this year, unlike any other years, there is some level of participation, and a lot of people already cast the ballot, and that tells you that there are those who are taking part of this great system that we have. Democracy, I think it shows that the importance of voting. And I encourage those of you who have not voted yet, this is the time to do it. Either you can do early voting. If you work, that may be some type of a hindrance to you, maybe because of your work schedule, but there are those polling that are open. If your state allow, because I know the Robert Duverny Show goes around the nation, depending with what state you live in, you may not have early voting, and some states do have early voting. I encourage you to participate and take advantage of that. All right, well, I'm giving you a few seconds to call a friend or colleague. I'm going to wait for you guys to delve into, we have a lot to delve into. I'll give you a few seconds or two to do so right now. All right, call a friend, let them know the Robert Duverny Show is on. We on. Greetings, Dr. Duverny. Thank you. Should I give you kudos for logging in? We'd love to have you. Thank you for logging in. Thank you so much. And then I'm waiting for more of you to log in, because there's some topics I'd like to discuss, and I'm sure will be great. And I encourage you to participate. And just before we delve into some other stuff, I was talking to a buddy of mine just a few days ago. He told me, Mr. Duverny, I think you have an uphill battle. The fact that your show comes on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And because you have the lack of Tucker from Fox News, who he's taking all the oxygen in the room. The reason why my attendance may be somewhat low. But what I told him, I told him, well, I believe in the American people. They're looking for truth. And the Robert Duverny Show, again, it's a show that is impartial. It's a show that is transparent. And it's a show that does not pledge any allegiance to any party. Yet, if you're looking for anything authentic, if you're looking for news topics that are relevant to both our nation and also our elected leaders, and if you want to know more, this is the show that you come to, because we're not biased. We tend to be impartial in our judgment. I think that's what makes us Americans. We don't take sides, and I think we're not pushing any agenda. And yet there are other network who that's what they do. They're pushing an agenda. And they're in the show business. I understand. I'm not getting paid for what I'm doing. This is purely out of the goodness of my heart and the love that I have for public office, and of course those who serve us, and also the people who I've come in contact with, and those around the nations who are a great participant. And that's what gives me the strength, the courage, knowing that I'm coming to you every Tuesday and to deliver something somewhat different of all the noise that's going on. I think that's the beauty of America. We all can participate, and at the end of the day, you can go home saying that you have done something. It may not be glamour, but you're in good conscience, and that's why I pay dividends. All right, thank you so much. All right, I'm giving a few guys a few seconds to get a few log in, and before I delve into this, well, what we have, and again from the top of the hour, we share with you that we're only 15 days away from the major midterm, and the midterm is right around the corner. This is a midterm that has been talked about for the past 2 years, ever since Mr. Biden took office. There were those in the other aisle who were contemplating this day. Well, it's already started. November 8th will be the actual, it's a dressing rehearsal, really. So, but technically, what's going to happen will happen, and I have my own predictions, and I'm not a bookie, but I'm not a betting man either, so I don't tend to, I can give my humble opinion of where I think things may be sway, and then most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm always right. Again, I'm a humble man. I'm not saying that to scare you, but then again, this is what we do at the Robert Duverny Show. We look at the numbers that are coming in, and then draw an assessment from there. I think that's what makes us relevant. The fact that we're just not throwing stuff in the air and which has no substance. Yet we take this very serious, and that our people deserve better. And I think when we are educated about a topic, about an issue, we tend to make wiser decisions. And this is what we lack of these days. We have so-called politicians who just after a paycheck. There are those who are after the fame, the limelight. I think this is a disservice to our nation. This is a disservice to our people. We can do a whole lot better. We can do a whole lot much better. That's for sure. All right. Well, let's get on to the show. It's already 8:10, 10 after the hour, 10 after 8 o'clock. We have 20 minutes to go, and then we have quite a few things on the agenda that I'd like to touch base with you here. First off, we have those two candidates last night. Governor DeSantis faced off with former governor and Representative Mr. Charlie Crist. They went head to head in a debate last night. They only had one debate. They did not have any more. Those of you, if you missed it, you may want to look at it in replay. I think it was a good debate. I didn't have any dog in the fight, so I think it was worth watching. And Mr. DeSantis presented a good case as the governor of the state, what he has accomplished, and what and Mr. Chris, who was once a former governor for the state of Florida, Attorney General, also Commissioner. He really, he's a seasoned politician, that's for sure. But yet, he came up somewhat flat last night. But we know that this thing's already in the bag. The momentum is on Charlie Crist's back, and he has I would say about 90% chance of winning the election, his re-election bid, and then probably just serve 2 more years, and then that's it. He will vie for the White House. That's Mr. DeSantis will be the next president from Florida. So of course he will be the next president from Florida to the White House. That's for sure. He has the win in his back. I think he has a good, a viable chance of winning the election of this state. For the governor mentioned again, that's his, and I think we just have to stay tuned and sit back and enjoy it. All right. So those of you who are coming in right now, good evening to you all. Keep coming. Call a buddy, call a friend. Let them know the Robert Duverny Show just kicks off, and we're gonna delve into some important information here. And as we speak right now, there's a debate going on right now in the great state of Pennsylvania, where Dr. Oz will go on against the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Fetterman. As you know, Mr. Fetterman suffered a heart attack not long ago, but he's somewhat not 100%, but there's doubt. But again, Dr. Oz, Dr. Oz, who once lived in New Jersey, he figured that he has a viable chance of winning the Senate in Pennsylvania, so he's taking his chance right there. That's a race to watch, and it's interesting. I think we're gonna sit in front of our television on that Tuesday, the 8th, watching every development as the votes are coming in, as the states are being called. So I think it's gonna be a fun night. Pull your popcorn and just enjoy the ride. And of course, we have the state of Georgia. Georgia, of course, with Senator slash Pastor Warnock against Walker Herschel, a football player, and they're neck to neck, and that I don't understand. I cannot make too much of it. I wish Dr. Azar was here tonight. She would make some light out of it. I don't get it. How come Herschel's still hanging around? I don't know. Should it be neck to neck? But again, this is Georgia. Same goes with Florida. The southern states are really, they're very special in their own way, in their own merits. Next thing I'd like to speak with you, of course, is our democracy. Is it at risk? I think I touched that with you last week. And that's the reason why we have election. As long as we have election, every year, although it's chipping away, that give me a sense that our republic can withstand the wind and can withstand those foes. I call them foe adversaries who try to minimize. Oh, Dr. Israel, thank you for logging in. Thank you for coming in. All right. For a second, I thought you were not there tonight because I just called the state of Georgia here. I didn't hear. I guess everybody from the state of Georgia is on the radar right now. They're flying low because of Herschel. Well, he will be your senator, so they're talking, all right? And so is Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you have 2 representatives here for the state of Georgia. You should be in good hands, so you should have no problem. Well, again, these are the things that's going on. I think we also had debate between the great state of Florida, of course, Val Demings with Mr. Marco Rubio, who went head-to-head last week. Again, this one also in the bag for Marco Rubio. The state of Florida is not quite ready to flip the page to give the former top cop from Orlando a chance to win the Senate. But then again, Marco Rubio has a win on his back, so he's going to be in there for another 6 years because DeSantis is going to run for president. So Marco, you lost your time. But this is what we have. And again, we just have to stay focused and then stay on topic. don't get distracted. Oftentimes, there are those, the main goal, the main objectives is to cast doubt into the public system. But I still believe in America. I still believe that there are those with good intentions, and yet there's a handful of those who want to wreck the system. We need to hold their feet to the fire and call them for who they are and let them know where we see what's happening. And just last week, as you know, the state of Georgia already started their early voting. Dr. Israel, if you get a chance to see that, we have those who are attempting to intimidate voters, and there are a couple folks in camouflage. We had closed caption TV circuit who actually cut these individuals who managed to intimidate others while they were dropping the ballot. Again, the last time I checked, I was in America, and that right there is a concern. It's a concern for the simple fact that in 2022, there are those who cannot run a campaign. There are those who have agents who are doing their very best to disenfranchise a group of people. There are those who just blatantly denies that the election was rigged. The last time I checked, this is still the United States of America. These are things that happen in third world countries, I mean, second world country, but not in America. All right, so this is my concern. All right, so it's very important that we keep those in mind. We just have one question. When I have a question, I tend to answer those questions very often. Why is it Haitians voting? We have enough Caribbean in Florida to put Demings in while we're letting the Cubans decide. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you, Dr. Izzo. That's a good point. Not only we have the Haitians and the Cubans here, but we have a diversity of folks in Florida. Florida is a melting pot, and we have South America. We don't just have those two Caribbean countries here, there's Cuba and Haiti. And Haitians, they, for some reason, they tend to go Democrats, and not all Haitians are Democrats, to be honest with you. I mean, a vast majority of Haitians are Republicans, and they're very conservative. They tend to vote with issues that align with their faith, and I think that's one reason why we suffer a lot as a community, and the fact that we're not united in terms of our core beliefs, and that's the reason why Val Demings would not doesn't have a chance to win. It's a good point. I figured out, I pointed it out that the Cubans they have a united front, and you have the other folks from South America, and of course you look at the Panhandle area, that corridor out of Orlando, and the west coast of Florida. Those are hard, staunch Republicans. Republicans. That's Rubio. In Florida, although they call it a purple state, but it's still, I think, some light purple, really, but it's more reddish than purple. That's the reason why Val Demings does not stand a chance of winning the Senate. All right, thank you. That's a good question. Thank you for pointing it out, Dr. Izzo. We encourage your questions. It's always a breath of fresh air whenever you come on the show, and your questions always hit the essence of what we try to drive here. Well, thank you very much. I encourage your question. Okay. Well, you're right. Again, good question again, Dr. Izzo. I think that would be a topic for another day. I'd love to delve into it, but I think there's a level of hypocrisy when there are so-called people of faith, and regardless what I do, but if I have an R behind my name, or if I have a D behind my name, they're gonna vote either way, right? But then what's important is people don't associate with your lifestyle or even your core beliefs, but as long as you have that letter behind your name, behind your last name, either R or D. It's unfortunate. My last name is R. Yeah, I'm RD. That's, as you can see the logo here, RD. It's not Republican Democrat, but it's actually Robert Duverny. But again, like I said, I'm very open. I'm very unbiased on my part, and I think their party affiliation played a major role, bigger than their faith. Not so much so their faith, but I would. That's where the level of hypocrisy comes into play. It's not really, because if it were faith, then it would be hands down Warnock, right? But then again, it's the letter behind your last name. You know, if the party that you represent, that's what determine the way of voting. All right. Hopefully that sums it up. Keep bringing your questions. I love those questions. Bring it on. All right. Pretty good. My man from South Carolina, Mr. Lindsey Graham. The latest news today. Well, actually, before I jump to Lindsey Graham, I'd like to send my warm thoughts and prayers with the folks of San Francisco, California, who happened to experience a 5.1 magnitude earthquake as of 11:42 their time, which was 2:42 our time here in the state. It's very sad, but they are in our prayer, and we're definitely going to continue to pray for them. And it tells you Mother Nature really sometimes it can hit home. And but so far no casualties. We're very thankful, and we keeping the state of California and particularly San Francisco in our prayers and thoughts. Thank you. All right. Should also point out I'd like to send condolences to the Benjamin family. We lost a Haitian icon just last October 15th while he was performing live in Paris, France. It's unfortunate. It's a life that was gone too soon. Mr. Michael Benjamin, better known as Mika Ben, was a great Haitian artist, and he really was an icon for the Haitian community, and also and those in the Caribbean who come to appreciate his music. And it's a major loss, and we send our thoughts and prayers to the family, the fans, and all around the world who are a big fan of this great artist that we just lost. Again, rest in peace, Mr. Mika Ben, and all the best to your family, and you know our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. All right, we're switching topic real quick. We normally don't touch the international news, but this week I figured we just had within 7 weeks of in UK we see 3 prime ministers. Of course, Mr. Boris Johnson, who resigned, and I don't know why they call him the lettuce head, but also and he was replaced by another prime minister, Liz Ross, and now just to Liz Ross really said she's in there for the long fight, and she got the blessing from the Queen, and then 6 weeks later she was gone. Now just this morning we have a new prime minister in UK by the name of Mr. Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak is an Indian descent. This is the first time in the history of UK we have a non-white prime minister. He's the youngest ever, 42 years old, and he's a former wealthy ex Goldman Sachs junior banker and also hedge funds manager. So there's a guy who knows a thing or two about finance, and he had a lot of that investment. His guy has so much money. He and his wife, of course, and his father-in-law, they combine of 730 million pounds, which is an equivalent of $830 million of US. So these people are loaded. Imagine the guy is the prime minister right now, and this is what we have in UK, and we hope this is our staunch ally, and we pray everything goes smooth and the market can rebound again. And things looked up better this year. Wall Street, I don't call it Wall Street, but Wall Street was so happy today. The stock went to the roof because of a hedge fund manager and of course ex-Goldman Sachs junior banker get the helm at the PM, Prime Minister for UK, and it's a good thing. Well, just give you a little brief background of Mr. Sunak. Mr. Sunak he first ascended to politics in 2015 when he won a seat in the British Parliament, and the rest is history. So imagine 6 years ago he won a seat in the British Parliament, and now he is sitting as the Prime Minister of UK. So what does that tell you, my fellow Americans? You just never know where life will take you. I'm sure he may have envisioned it, I don't know. But the fact that he's not white, he's Indian descent, and he's that young, knowing that he will be the Prime Minister 6 years later, I don't know. I'm sure. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but then again, there's a man with goals. It is a man with who was driven, and yet, although he wasn't elected, he was nominated because he's the party. The way they're working in UK right now, it's an election year. It's within the party in control. If one step down, just like in the state of Florida, if the governor of Florida has a senator or a representative who cannot serve the remainder of a term, or for some reason has to resign, the governor will get them a replacement. So at this time, the governor appoints you, okay, to fill that post, all right, until the next election. I'm sure just like we're gonna have Miss McCormick will be running for her seat again for District 20, and again, we stay tuned. I mean, we got to go to election, you know. So that's food for thought. This is where we are in UK. So it looks like there's a good chance that things will run smooth. And Mr. Boris Johnson said if ever he was trying to get that seat back, but they told him right now, stay clear, man. They're gonna look my man. I like Boris Johnson, man. He's a Trump version in UK. Come to let his head. I gotta love Johnson, man. Johnson with his vacation in the Caribbean, he cut it shut, and just to come in UK to, and again after ongoing conversation with the party, and then they say for the good march of the country, let's not go that way. Well, just this morning, Mr. Sunak, after receiving the blessing from King Charles, the third, he was officially the PM, the Prime Minister for UK. All right. So it's already 8:28. We only have a few minutes left. I don't see any more questions coming in, so I encourage your questions. Again, since we're sticking with the international platform right now, Russia, of course, Russia, former Soviet Union, Russia, Kremlin. Russia claims that Ukraine has planned to detonate a dirty bomb. So it's like an arsonist said, fire, just because he called it fire. Doesn't mean that he wasn't the one starting the fire. So then again, we know how Mr. Putin play his game. So UN has been dispatched to visit Ukraine to do some inspection. If in fact there's a dirty bomb there, and we know if there's no dirty bomb, if there's any dirty bomb that's detonated, so we know where to go. Who has it? So all right. So stay clear, Mr. Putin. Don't you do that, man. Don't you do that. All right. So I think that's what I wanted to close up with these international news. Last thing I'd like to touch base with you. Today is the last Tuesday of the month of October. It's Breast Cancer Month. My prayers and thoughts going out to all breast cancer survivor. Please pitch in, help, it's for a good cause. And I'm wearing my pink tonight. Yeah, my pink underneath here. Probably too bright, but my pink. All right, so supporting the cause, and then of course, those of you who are fighters, who are giving it all, and I applaud you for your great work. And next time we meet, my fellow Americans, will be November 1st, which will be next Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be November 1st. We'll meet in a new month, and then and of course the following week, of course, God Spare Our Lives will be on the 8th, and I'll be covering the election live with you. And those of you, if you wanna bounce back and forth between my live streaming and the likes of CNN, Fox, and of course MSNBC, ABC News. I know those are giants, but I'll be there for you. I'll be there because the Robert Duverny show is unbiased, and then I'll be there making sure that you get the accurate information and actually good report of what's coming in. And we're not going to call anything unless we know for certain that it's been called for such candidate, and this is what we'll do. And I encourage you to stay tuned and make sure that you take someone to vote. Make sure that you exercise that muscle that you have, that muscle vote. Voting is a muscle. You need to stretch that muscle. And there are those who are trying to disenfranchise you from not voting, trying to discourage you. But I think this is one last thing that you have. You let politicians know where you stand on issues. Need I say more, my fellow Americans? I think that'll be it for tonight. That's it, folks. There's no more. Until we meet next time for a show like it'll be next Tuesday, God's willing, November 1st, for a show like this. And until next time, my fellow Americans, have a lovely evening, and may God bless these United States of America. Thank you.